It can be humiliating to have a boss that yells at you. And often you may be feeling like you're being abused. It's important to understand that most bosses that talk loudly and express frustration don't really understand how other people are experiencing it. Now, it could be that they have that type of more aggressive personality. So they like talking loud and they like being competitive. And that type of personality gets energized by loud conversations. So they don't really understand that that would have a negative impact on others. So it's important to kind of glean what's really going on with your boss when what you're experiencing is being yelled at. Because the other thing to think about is often our boss is not raising their voice at all, but it still feels like we're being yelled at. So I have a couple of clients who are really smart and they tend to have that little sarcastic sense of humor. So they can make snide remarks once in a while, or they can say things that sound critical once in a while, and people feel yelled at. And I've actually given that feedback to people on 360 assessments, and they've said, I never raise my voice, because they're not raising their voice. They're just saying something, and the tone feels disdaining, or it feels intense, or it feels critical, or it feels angry or frustrated. So the thing to understand is that often people who find themselves in the position of being accused of emotional abuse and yelling and that type of thing, it's not their intention. That doesn't mean you shouldn't set boundaries on the behavior, but it is important to know that it's usually not personal, because it can feel really personal. And if you know it's not personal, then at least it doesn't hurt as much when it happens, but you still might freeze. So I think the important thing is that your boss needs that feedback. Sometimes it helps to give the feedback that when they're talking in a way that's intense, that it feels to you like you're being yelled at. And whether or not they believe that they're yelling, what it does to you is it freezes your brain, because you just react to that. You close up, you clam up. And that's a natural response for you when you feel that someone's upset with you. And ask them for time and space to collect your thoughts. Sometimes you only need 15 or 20 minutes to sort of digest what's been said and then come back with a response that will satisfy your boss. But often, if your boss is one of those people that likes debate, they tend to naturally respect people who can debate them right back. And that is something that you may have to have a discussion about, which is, I know that you like to debate, but what you don't understand is, because you're in a power position with respect to me, that when you're in my face intensely with an opinion, it's going to be very, very hard for me to talk back to you, because my job could be on the line. And so you have to understand it's a very real fear that I experience when you do that. My intention is to support you, and I'll always do everything I can to respond to a request or to get you the information you need. But sometimes when you come at me really fast, I may ask you for even 15 minutes of space to just process your request, think about it, and then get back to you. And hopefully your boss will be smart enough to really receive and learn from that feedback. In most cases, they are.